some screenshots. Let's first check those. Today we will discuss about order capture journey, order decomposition we have already discussed, orchestration we will discuss today. So this is what in the last class I was saying. There are, you can see there are a couple of flow and there is some color coding also. That means if you see something is pending, it will highlight in this color. If something is skipped, suppose there is a condition and that particular block is not working or it get skipped, in that case it will show in this gray color. All the manual actions who are actually going to work will be highlighted into this blue color. Completed task will be highlighted into green color, and any failed action or any error, in case of any error, they will get highlighted in red color. So this is the hello, am I audible?
Right now you are.
This is the object structure of the basically whatever we will do, those objects we need to work on. First of all, this is orchestration plan. The first object is plan definition, which I think we already discussed in the last class, where we can actually create the header objects. And this is the initial level of object which we have to create. And in that object, we need to link these two things. One is the scenario, second is the item definitions. Okay. In scenario and item definition, we will check how we will create those in today's class. But this is the actual object flow, and we need to first create the definition, then we need to create the scenario, and then we need to create the item definition. Inside the item definition, this is the actual task which we need to create, like whether we want any manual action, we want any autocomplete job, we will create a milestone, callouts, all those things, right? So today, actually, this required two sessions, actually three sessions. One we already discussed about when I created those flows, right? Today's session, we will keep milestones and manual task. These two will cover today. And from the tomorrow's class will be slightly heavy lifting, where we will discuss other topics and some basic flows also, like the definition and interview point of views also. So those things we will discuss in the next class. So once you clear everything, once you draw your lines, so your final scheme will look like this. So this is something which I have captured from somewhere. So this is how the actual flow will look like, where you have created a start order capture journey. Then you have created a technical order review where user need to do the review. Then you have created a milestone where customer acceptance, and then you have created a milestone for complete jobs, right? So this blue color you are seeing, this is something which manual job required. The green that you are seeing is already completed, and those are nothing but the different layers. Okay, we'll talk about it. So in general, this is the complete flow that you will see in those related objects. Okay, any questions? No, right? Then start. Need to go, like I saying, the first object is this orchestration plan definition. So let's search about it. Okay, and here we need to click on new. I think we already created a sim. Let me check. No. Okay, then let's create a new. And one more thing, actually, before we dive into it, see, since those are the tasks, since those are tasks, that means there will be owner as well, right? Even for some autocomplete tasks, maybe we can create a default owner queue, and that queue will take care of those things. But for manual jobs, we need to create proper queue, and we also need to create some rules where it randomly assign any member in the queue, or it will wait for someone to pick it task, right? So those two things also you need to take care. But yeah, make sure, since this is a flow which require a human efforts to complete something, then we need to share that responsibility to the person. So the sharing part in Salesforce, they will pick as a queue. Okay, and this is not that normal queue. They have created their own object for the queue itself. We will also talk about this. Okay. Let's now create it. Let's make it global only. Order start, let's make it 1. So this object is only for the stepping purpose. This, like I said, this is the initial object, right? So once it get created, after then we can only create the scenarios and the plan definitions. Okay, this is the basic object. Now we need to create the scenario. In scenario, it is asking to tag the product. Okay, so this will be a question like from where you will tagging the product, because this, after all, whatever we are doing here, this is we are doing after order, once user click on the order button, right? So from where that order basically work, that we need to take care. Okay, so for that we need a product, and the product tagging will be done on the scenario. Here let's search for the same product. Here we need to create the this product, commercial product, and I will also tell you what happened if you create the maybe that part will cover tomorrow. What are the differences between selecting a commercial product and selecting a technical product? Okay, now let me create this again. Keep conditional view, leave everything by default. We'll come back to that screen, but as of now I'm just creating it. Okay, so what we have done, we have created those two objects as of now. Okay, we have created a plan definition and we have created scenario. Now let's create a milestone. For that we need to create an item definition. Okay, let's do that. We'll come back to that screen. As of now we can go to the plan definition object. Okay, this scenario we have created. Then we need to create the item definition. Here we have already discussed about those things, right? Auto actions means something which automatically fire. Call out means we need to wait for some third party to return the response, or we need to make a call out for that. Manual task, like I said, it is require manual interventions. Here we will assign queues wisely. Next is milestone, which is doesn't do anything. It just display this thing. Milestone, let me show you. Uh, this. So this is the milestone, start order. This is a milestone, just saying we are going to start the order. Complete order. This is also a milestone. I mean, this is auto task, but most of the cases we can also create a milestone for complete order, which just says order completed. So milestone is nothing but it is a stamp which by just viewing this, but this diagram, you will just identify it. Okay, my order capture journey has started. My order has reached to that position. Those things are already done. So we stamp milestone when we actually start and end one entire tree. Okay, let's create a milestone here again. Okay, it is asking what is the name you want to write. Let's say start order. Scope, you just leave everything by default, whatever it is. We will discuss about those things, but as of now I'm just focusing on the uh, diagram prospects. Let's first save it. Okay, let me again clone the same for complete order also. Okay, it is tagged to this plan definition. Now let's go back to the plan definition. So what we have done, we have created a scenario and we have created these two item definitions. So let's test this functionality. Let's create a order and then just look how Velocity is creating and handling those things, right? And then we'll discuss about the other topics. Then again, we need to go to there, search for order. Uh, One thing that you guys can see, most of the orders are in this stage. Okay, some of the orders are in draft stage. We have not discussed this yet, but let me discuss this point. We will again discuss those things tomorrow as well, but I'm just clearing those things in this session itself. See, if something is in activated state, that means all the task of that particular order is already done. That means if you go and check the orchestration plan, you will see all those things are already done. But if something is in draft, that means the order is not 100% completed. There's any point which is missing, or any stage required any manual interventions, or there is some error happened in the backend. Okay, we'll check this thing, what I'm saying. But yeah, just your status will tell. But just looking at the recent order tab, keep an eye on the status. If it is activated, that means your order is successfully done. But if it is draft, that means something required from the order prospect. Okay, so let's create a order and test our functionality. Yeah. Okay, we need to follow all those steps that we discussed in the last class. We need to go to the CPQ, add sim product, and then we need to initiate the order decomposition where it will break technical commercial product to technical product. And then once it break it, after then it will select the orchestration and run all the flows that we have done yet. Okay, now I'm not giving, yeah, let me actually give the number also. This button, you have experienced that this button was not clickable. Why? Because the attribute that we have given, at once we complete the changes, they have used on change logic. So they are just saving whatever we have done in the JSON. That's why it took some time to enabling this button. Okay, just click here. Now at that moment, what it is doing, it is running all those actions. Like it is breaking one product into technical product, and at the same time, it is also running the process also. Okay, then you can do the next. Then you need to open that order. Okay, you can see there are two buttons. One is decomposition. So let's first check decomposition. That is the initial flow. Whenever a order placed, the first thing that we need to check whether our technical product is created or not. Okay, so that we will first verify. Okay, so yes, it is created. Then they will give you an option where you can check the orchestration plan. Just click on this button. It will take you to a different page. And there it will stamp this screen where all the flows basically printed out at this here orchestration plan. So you can see our plans are in green stage. Okay, there are a couple of things that you can also observe is missing, like they are not connected to each other, right? There's no connection in between. So we will create connections in the next class. You also need to take a print of those things whenever you do a testing or something. They will give you an option where you can actually print those steps also. So make sure you also use this functionality where you actually print those things. Now let's talk about this box. This box, if you click here, it will take you to that particular orchestration item. Okay, that particular name is orchestration item here. Okay, so if I go back to this here, there is orchestration plan definition, which is the initial header object. We need to create scenario which tells what is the action that you are performing. You are adding it, you're deleting it, what actually you're doing to your card level. You're adding it, right? So our intention here is to add. Next thing it asks what is the item definition. That means which action you need to perform once your order get placed, and what is the item plan definition at a level, what actions you need to follow. Like you need to set a milestone, you need to tell, I mean all the business flows, you can say this is our business flows that we need to perform. Okay, and they both are basically referring to a conditional product or directly product view. So from where you are stepping a product is scenario. Getting it? So just understand this flow. The tagging of your product will be done on scenario, and what action you're performing will be done on the orchestration plan definition. Once you do all those things in the backend, when you again go to the plan definition object, in this object basically plan orchestration plan, you will see that orchestration plan, it when you click on plan definition, it create a orchestration plan for you, and here you will see particular records also. Okay, there you will see there are multiple records get linked to this orchestration plan. There you will see the complete diagram and status also. Okay, so if there is any manual job or anything is going, the status will be in pending, in progress basically, or completed. Getting it? So all those things you will see here. It will also give you a tagging of your order which you have placed, where you can see there is also order view orchestration plan definition here also. Okay, now let's go back and check this. Now talk about this. This is a start order. Like I said, we have stamped it as a start order. Assign users is nothing because it is a manual, sorry, automatic job, right? There's a queue also, orchestration queue. It is Q2. They have tagged this to Q2, and there's no queue, manual queue as such, right? So this queue orchestration queue, it is something which is tagging for, you can see the pending and status items, right? This tells us that this is an automatic process. Okay, if there is any manual queue written, that means it is a manual job. When we actually create a manual queue, we need to make sure that we are tagging a manual queue under that also. Okay, so the sharing and the ownership of those orchestration definitions objects or the entire orchestration plan will be governed by these two things. Okay, manual queues and orchestration queues. In orchestration queues, we in most of the time it will be Q2 only, but you can again write any rules to change it. It is the priority which is normal, but you can again change it to high or low also, right? This is if let's say your process is having any issues, then it will stamp to that level. So this is the error logging feed where you will get either success or any failure message in that particular stage. So this is something which velocity created us for, velocity created for us, right? But let's imagine a case. Let me whatever we have learned. Now let's meet that requirement to the actual project that we are actually doing. In SIM card, when we actually go to, let me actually open this. Yeah, in SIM card, here we will say start order, right? Then we will link this to upload screen or document verification screen, right? But in document verification screen, once user uploaded the document, it is a manual job. Someone need to go and verify the documents. So from where they will go and verify the documents and what will happen after they have verified the documents, it's totally depend on this particular object. Okay, we need to let's say we have launched a OmniScript for that. We have created a OmniScript where users can view whatever documents any customer uploaded. Okay, and then we have given them two buttons, accept or reject. Okay, so in accept button, whatever logic your business is saying you need to do. Plus, you also need to update your orchestration plan record. What you need to update? You need to make this process either fail or complete. Okay. You also need to add any exception log here also. Getting it? There's a process. Once you do all those things, there is a process called assetization. We also need to perform this assetization after that. Assetization, I'm not mixing it in today's class. It is again a so we will discuss this tomorrow, but assetization, you can consider that whenever a product is a valid product, once user created the order for it, we need to create asset for it. Okay, we need to convert that order into assets, and that assets can only be used for a commercial product. A technical product can never be a asset. Okay, and any product, whether it is a free, whether it is a not $0, whether it is a free product or a paid product, it requires assetization. Okay, that assetization we also need to perform with the help of this orchestration plan. Okay, so those things we'll discuss tomorrow, but you can say your orchestration plan object is the area which get updated from wherever you're calling it, whether you're calling it through LWC, templates, Visual Force, OS, wherever. You need to update this thing here. Otherwise, if you go back, they will always show, let's say if you're not updating this, then this is in that board, it will not see as complete. And this is the source of truth. You need to view orchestration plan. All the management or all the persons are relying on this only. Okay, so Velocity created this particular page to track all the order actions. Okay, that's why I said whenever you are performing any business logic, it could be anything. It could be sending a mail. It could be calling any Apex class, which sending any call to the customers and waiting for the response to come back. Okay, or it could be simple, or it could anything, right? Apart from that, you also need to update these two fields, at least these two fields, state, and the exception log. Any questions? Okay, so this is actually two things you need to make sure you are doing it. Now let's do what I'm saying. Now let's go and create a manual job also. Okay, for that we need to go to the um, orchestration plan, those tabs. Okay, there again I'm creating it item definition. Okay, so in general, let's go back. In general, let's say this you have implemented to the you have shown the demo, you have implemented this, and you have merged this also. But at the same time, someone says I need one more logic in between these two boxes, just add this also. In that case, also you need to come back to this particular record again. Okay, so make sure you only creating this from your developer edition, not from any specific other places also. I will tell you why I'm saying it, but yeah. Now let's go and create a manual task. Okay, now if you observe in the previous, when we are creating a milestone, there's no, apart from the name, there's no manual fields, right? But now you can see there is a manual task section is enabled. Okay, in the backend they have created record types like I said. Okay, and in the create screen they are basically rendering those fields based on record type. If I go back and select any other action, it will show something else also. Okay, now let me actually write here. Document verification, it could be, yeah, Here you will see, we will discuss about it. Yeah, just keep it blank only. Here you need to create a queue. Okay, and these two fields, let's focus first. Here you need to create a queue. That queue will having a list of users, and like I said, there are two scenarios where first thing, you will not assign anyone anything. Whatever whenever user drag a document, it will be the owner will be that queue, and someone need to go to that queue and accept the ownership. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is, the system will automatically assign anyone. Okay, randomly it will assign anyone, and there will be no person who need to go and accept that. Okay, so it will get assigned automatically to the users. Now let's first discuss the first scenario where someone need to go and manually assign it. And now let's say they have assigned something. Yeah, let's first this topic and then we'll discuss. For that, we need to create a manual queue. Just copy this, click on tab, search for manual queues. You will see there is a tab itself. Okay, this queue basically says here you need to type the department name, maybe document verification team, right? So here you need to write this thing, document verification team. Who all the members of this team and all, we will discuss when this record get created. But at that time, we will only here we are referring a queue which is responsible persons, and those responsible persons may be a team itself. So here we will directly write the name of those team. It could be any whatever you called. You just need to write the name of those teams, right? Here, just leave attribute based only, right? This is the default filter. I will tell you why I'm saying this, but yeah, then you can save it. We are discussing first scenario where someone need to manually accept the ownership, right? Okay, so the queue is created. Now you will see there are two things. One is the items and second is the members. Okay, here you will see, let's yeah, it is loading. Whenever any document gets submitted, I mean, whenever any order happened, that order will be listed out here. There will be a row created under that. You will see all those items will be listed out here. Someone in that team need to come and accept the ownership of that item. Then it will linked to them. Okay, and then they can do the job. Let's test this functionality. Okay, here we need to actually drag, use this document verification. Now, pause a minute. What we have done, we have created a orchestration plan. We have made it a manual job, and we have tagged the team also. But what will happen once they click on the accept button? What actually we want to send them to? Okay, because see, this team doesn't have a knowledge of OmniScript. This team is not a technical team. This is business users, okay, or someone who just focus on the data part, maybe data entry users. Then once they click on accept button, where we are redirecting them, that is the question, right? Whether we want to redirect them to a OmniScript, Visual Force pages, where we are actually sending them. So the answer is, we need to send them to that place where we are showing the entire documents also, right? It could be a VF page, it could be OS, or it could be anything, right? Let's say it is a OS in our case. In that case, we need to stamp the OS link here. Okay, now let's quickly go and open any OmniScript and add the link. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask. In your project, when you in the assignment, you need to create that page also. We have already discussed how we can accept the draggable components and store them. That topic we have already discussed. What is this? Okay, so those things you need to do. Now let me add any. Let's say this one, account search. And all those basic rules will apply here also, that we need to first activate the OS before we use it outside, right? And in that script, that particular OS, I'm expecting that when you give accept and reject button, you will also update the tagged uh, this. I think I close that. Item definition. You also need to update that particular item definition as completed. Otherwise, it will not visible to that screen. What happened? Yeah, you need to activate it. And copy that link. Okay, now come back to our page and paste it here. You don't need to give this URL. After.com you don't need to give, just use after apex thing. Okay, see, this is nothing, this OS is nothing but a apex sorry, VF page, right? So you can also create your own VF page also. Okay, so that is the plus point here. You can also create your own VF page and directly give the URL. This will be the same URL which once user actually accept the ownership, they will automatically redirect to that URL. Okay, so whatever you want to view, that those users who is going to verify the team, whatever OS or UI you want to launch, you need to give the URL for that here. Okay, now I'm just saving it. Okay, so this is how it will look like. Now let's do one thing. Let's go and create a order again. Okay, I'm closing those scripts. To go to the orders, continue order. Okay, click on CPQ. We need to follow those steps. Okay, you can see document verification is now listed here also. Now I'm directly clicking on submit button. It's saying order successfully done. I just copied the link. You can click on next, and here I'm just cloning this and directly opening that order. Okay. Here you will see the orchestration plan button. Here you will reach directly to that page, and now you will see this is milestone, this is a milestone, and this is a manual task which is assigned to document verification team, and this is in ready state. That means someone need to perform the action directly here. Now let's go and check this. Okay. Yeah, now if you go, you will see the manual queue is this document verification team, and if I go, the state is ready here. Okay, And the order state here is yeah, here you can see it is in draft. Okay, previously it was completed, activated actually, now it is in draft stage. Okay, but one more thing that you have observed, the complete order is also green. Ideally only start order should be green, then document verification, and after that there should be complete order, which is in gray stage because it is not yet implemented. Okay, why? Because we have not make any dependencies between between all of them, right? We'll create the dependencies in the next class, but yeah, just keep an eye on this also. Now yeah, if you go here you will see, yeah, I just click on this document verification team. Here you will see the team is, there's no member as such. We have not added any member, but you will see there is a box here. Document verification, pickup, ready. All those things is already there, right? When someone need to click on this pickup, at that moment they will be launched to that particular skin that we have configured in this. Uh, okay, this URL. They will get redirected to. What is the expected behavior? Here they will see if here they will see the list of all the documents that particular user has uploaded. They need to verify those documents, and this level they will also see a I mean there they will see the confidence level which OCR returned. Okay, they will see that that is confidence there, and in that screen you also need to configure the actual uh, uh, text also. Let's say you have created one for PAN card. Okay, then you need to maintain one text field for PAN card also. Okay, those things you need to make sure. Again, if it is a social security number, these two things, let's say you have asked your user to upload, then you also need to tag one place where you upload this number also. Okay, and those numbers you need to store in Salesforce fields, and that Salesforce field you need to use the encryption, shield encryption. Ideally you should use the shield encryption, and whatever written from those fields will always get encrypted. Okay, whenever you deal with any specific country, they have their own set of rules, and under that they will force us to encrypt the information. Okay, in that case Salesforce provide us this shield encryption that we have already discussed, right? So those you need to apply. And after the flow, let's say there are three stages. After the third stage, when user need to verify all those things, you need to display two buttons. One is for uh, accept, second is for reject. In accept button you need to say whatever is written from OCR and whatever you have observed or you have make manual changes also, that you need to update to those fields, and you also need to update the this particular record where you need to make it as a complete or reject or field. Okay, when you make it complete, if you want to tag anything to exception log, you can do that. Again, if you failed anything, you have to write why you are failing it. That you need to write in the exception log. Okay, once you do a complete, I'm just doing it from this screen, but you need to do it from this flow. Okay, I leave it to you how you want to design this particular screen. You are free to go for LWC or a VF or OS or any other thing also like templates. Okay, but the intention here is you need to capture those 3 4 fields and this also. So there will be multiple DML operation that you need to perform here. Okay, different objects you need to update, which is fine because yeah, then you need to save it. You need to basically update this record. Okay, once it get completed, you will, if you refresh, you will see the status here is complete, state here is complete, and this is also green now. Same if you go to the order, the stage of order will be, status of order will be changed. Okay, but there are, this is happy path, right? But let's say user accidentally click on accept thing. Okay, then you again need to give a button here. Okay, and then you need to, let's say once they have accepted it, and there is a flow. Sometimes it's also possible like once they have accepted it, then they realize that something is missing. In that case, there's a window for 4 or 5 days as such. They need to again come and open the same thing. I have already told you how you will cache this page, so that once they again click on this link, they will only redirect to that success and complete page only, right? Then if they want, they can again do declined also, right? In that case, you need to manually update those fields, because once the status get completed and they have, let's say, made it, let's say, let me go and make it now ready. Okay, now I'm going from upper stage to lower stage, right? The status is complete, right? It cannot be ready by default, but this is not a happy path. Let's say the business saying we have this requirement where we again want to come back, and you have updated this. In that case, if you observe, this will be blue, but here it is saying completed. And same for your order also. Your order, it will also say activated. Okay, so those things you need to manually update. You need to manually make this in progress, and same for your order also. So if you are doing this, make sure those things will not gonna automatically handle, because Velocity will says we have already given you a place where you ask user before they click on complete button, you will ask alert user that they really want to do that, like those functionalities. But again, in one of my project, I need to give this feedback functionality where once they have accepted, there are multiple level of acceptance, right? So those things is not here, but yeah, the multiple level of acceptance. Let's say one of the user have rights to override whatever the previous team has accepted. So those things you can again need to configure those things, right? So now any questions on this? Let me do a quick recap. Okay, before we jump to next thing, we are discussing orchestration plan. In orchestration plan, we need to follow our company's protocols, company's rules when a order get, when anything get ordered. Okay, for those rules we need major three objects. One is the plan header object, which is plan definition, which is just the header object who's using for the tracking purpose. Then we need a scenario and a item definition. Scenario will be directly linked to the product. Okay, what products you perform this orchestration is governed by the scenario. That's also an interview question where you actually do the tagging of the product. Most of the time we will say this, but no, there's a this object. Then what all actions you want to perform is governed by this item definition. Okay, based on this action, the status will be tagged to this item definition, and here from here it is tagged to the order. Okay, from this level you can call a apex class, you can call a data raptor, you can also call a manual queue like we have discussed in manual tasks. Here it will give you a manual queue option. If you select autocomplete, it will give you apex interaction option. If you select callout, it will give you a data raptor bundle. We will see this, but today we have talked about the manual task. They give us a manual queue option. Okay, whatever you will select, they will give you, based on that they will give you anything, right? Now once you configure those things, then let's say you have configured the manual queue. In that case, you need to create a manual queue here. You need to go here and you need to configure the manual queue also. Okay, in that it asks you the attribute object type, right? Queue type. If you selected uh, this attribute paste, then someone need to manually come and pick that particular record. Then only it will work. Okay, and then they also need to complete it, reject it, or whatever they want to do. They need to do it from here itself. Okay, they need to make it complete, and then you will see this will automatically get happened. But in most of the time, we will not ask user to click on this button. They need, because even we are launching a script for them, we will do this for them for I mean we will do, once they hit on submit button, we will that do for in their behalf. Okay, we will not expect user come back and do the complete here. Okay, so those things. Next thing is what will happen, because see that here someone need to go and manually pick this thing, right? That means there is a effort that are required. Maybe a manager level person need to assign those things to the users, right? There is assign me or something assigned to user thing. But now let's say how we can make it automatic, where system will assign those things. Okay, now for that we need to yeah, let me refresh this. Okay, here we need to click on add members. I'm adding couple of users. You need to basically add the users. Okay, let's say I added these four. You need to click on this save button. Okay, the members are added into the yeah, into this team. It is, yeah, into the team. You can again use remove to remove those members, and then you need to change the object type to this round robin and save it. Then what it will do, based on the queue actions, it will automatically assign the queues user queues. Okay, now let's test this functionality, and I'm closing those tabs. It open, keep this open also. Close this. On the orders, okay, with this and paste it here. On orchestration plan. Okay, click on this and queue. Okay, you will see this is as directly assigned. There's a owner. Let me just check that. Yeah, you can see assigned user here. Okay, so in that queue, we have given a list of 4 users. So you will see it will automatically get assigned to this user. Okay, so this is how this functionality work. Now the ownership and everything will be governed by this assigned to user. Okay, here they will go and they need to click on this particular thing, and based on that they need to perform the actions. One more thing, if you click on this icon, there they will also redirect to that particular stage. Okay, so someone who is, I mean, you need to take care of this scenario also, that only the owner will able to do the action. You need to query before you render this page. Okay, you need to query this record. You need to make sure that if the login user is this user, then only view this screen. Otherwise, view that you don't have access. Okay, you can also whitelist some uh, profiles also. Let's say for system admin, we don't want to display that validations, right? So those are some business logic that you need to write. But since it is a OmniScript, all those things we can do. Okay, we can query on this particular record and then we can directly get that. Okay, any questions? Now I will pause for any questions. Today we will only discuss those topics. Next class we will discuss more topics. Let me again do a quick recap. Orchestration plan we have defined the scenarios. In items we have defined the manual task. In manual task we need to configure manual queues. In manual queues we have two options. One is something where we don't want system to automatically assign a user. In that case we need to select the attribute there. Okay, and then once a order is placed and there is an entry get logged into this manual queue, manual task, then someone need to go and pick that. Okay, because there is no ownership, there's no one owner in that case, and then they need to do the actions. And once from where we will define, once they pick which page we need to open is depends on this task only. When we actually configuring this order item definition, there they will ask us a URL. There we can give the name of a VF page. We can also yeah, VF page only. We need to give the name of a VF page itself. From that VF page, we can call different LWC with the help of Aura or directly Aura, right? Those things we can directly define. All the parameters that we need to send is taken care of this record itself. Okay, we need to make sure that we are sending the right parameters. Okay, those things we need to take care. Then once the queue get opened, we need to make sure after following the business logic, we again come back and update the item definition. Sorry, this orchestration item record to in ready to complete or fail. And based on that, we also need to tag the log also. Because if you're not doing this, if you completed your business logic and you're not feeding back to orchestration plan, then system will not having any particular entry. Maybe in the backend the job is done, but your orchestration will still show as a pending thing. So that you need to make sure. Same goes for callouts also. When we discuss callouts, there will be different fields that also we need to take care. But all those actions need to feedback the system. They need to update those things. But Velocity will never ask your users to automatically update. They will give this button where they need to go and manually check whether it is complete or not. Okay. Show you. If I go to the queue. Okay. They will give you this option also where you can manually complete this. Just need to check this and complete it. Ready it or whatever you want to do. Okay, you can do all those things and assign to me or something, assign users. Okay, assign to any queue if you want. You can also do those things, right? Okay, any questions? You will see view more section here, right? If you open this, this will open a small pop-up which displays some key level of fields. Okay, so you can also configure this small pop-up. So if you don't want to open this entire page, entire record page, you can even use those fields and check what is the status. What's the start date? What's the due date, right? What is the status? How which is assigned to it? What is the manual queue which is assigned to it, right? Who is taking the ownership? All those things you can configure directly here, because when you deal with the actual requirement, you have this much, right? So there are so many item definition records created. If you click on each of them, it will be very difficult for someone to actually look into it. So they give us this option where they need to click on view more and it will show a couple of fields, and based on that they can do the actions. Okay, any questions?
See here we have orchestration scenarios, right? That is
Mhm.
something tell us like what are the items, what are the step which will come here. Based on that, when we click on orchestration, automatically the boxes will create, I think. Uh, so trying to
Orchestration
understand. Yeah.
orchestration scenario will basically use which action you're performing. Whether you're based on this is card action like modify, no change, discount, suspend. Remember in initially I have discussed, let's say this is a new customer. Okay, this you're sending this person who customer who's purchasing the same is a new customer, then the action will be add. If let's say they have already purchased the sim but they are not making any recharge, then we need to suspend that. So in that case the action will be suspend. Okay, so this scenario is do this thing first. It will make sure what is the action. Second, it will make sure which product they need to fire it. Okay, and if I go back to the plan definition, uh, your item definition is something which actually perform the actions based on that. Okay.
Sorry, yeah, got it. Now, I just confused actually. So yeah,
Mhm.
but now I got it.
So this box basically get created when you create the item definition.
Item
Those
definition. Yeah.
boxes, yeah. So if you click here, there they will ask you which type of record type you want to select, right? They clearly say
Exactly.
record type,
Yeah.
whether it is a, and based on that, they are also displaying the required fields, which is those fields.
Mm.
Yeah. For manual task, it is manual queue. For callouts, it's a data raptor bundle. For auto task, there will be Apex class. Okay, and manual, sorry, milestone, nothing because it's a stamp, and pull event is also nothing. We'll discuss about it. Okay, and after the end your screen will look like this. Okay, from tomorrow what we will do, we will create dependencies like this lines, because in today's when we go and check the definition, open this itself, there's no dependency in between, right? Just start and end, start and no dependencies in between. So we will create those dependencies. One more important thing that we need to discuss is the assetization. Okay, this assetization is Salesforce. Yeah, it is also something which is related to Salesforce. When we create an order, we need to convert the assets for those orders, right? Whatever product that they have selected, now they will convert into assets. So those things we will discuss how we can do that, and what are the things that we need to require when we do the assetization. Okay, because this assetization is a auto process, right? Automatically need to do that. So that automatic things we will discuss from tomorrow when we discuss for the auto task, and some basic definitions also. So tomorrow's class will be slightly heavy lifting because it is Friday also. So yeah. Okay. Uh, any questions? Just go through it. Try to do by your own. It is not very difficult as such. You just need to think this whenever you do, just remember this scenario. There will be a header object, there will be one object which is tagged to your product, there will be one object which is doing the actions, and what actions you are doing, that particular object will tell you. Okay, this object is called order items. Okay, this is called item definitions, and this is called plan definitions. Three objects you need to take care. Okay, order items, sorry, orchestration items, orchestration item definitions, and orchestration plan definition. Okay, and then whatever you will select, you need to fire the actions from the backend itself.
So yeah, in our system, we'll be having different products, right? Each product will be having its own orchestration plan and scenarios and definitions. So it
Technically
is not.
yes,
Yeah.
but in most of the cases we will only create one plan. Let's say your company is selling phones. Okay,
Okay.
so in the backend, those this flow will be common. This flow will be common for all, right? Whether they're selling iPhones or Androids, this flow will be common. But yes, we will create scenarios for them. We will tag
Okay.
product directly, but all those things will remain the same. We just need to create the records for them. That is it.
Okay.
Okay. You can also use a data loader kind of approach also, because in the backend they're nothing. We're just doing the data raptors, right?
Mm.
Yeah. That's
So I'm
why I think
thinking
they have. Mhm.
now we know like right now we the company has different products. One they are selling the SIM, another maybe they are selling the phone. So another maybe they are selling some hardwares. So if that's the case, based on the order which creates order while creating the order, we are just saying what are the yes. So we'll just say to whom it belongs, and we are adding the order products also, right?
Mhm.
So based on the order product itself, this entire orchestration has to drive. I feel
Right.
like yeah.
Right. And at that time also, basically, see what happened. The company will tell us which category. They will tell us category, because they will not go into that depth, like which exact product they are looking for. They will, in most of the general language, they will refer the category. They will say, if it is a electronics category, I want to follow this. If it is a home appliances category, I want to follow this. But based on category, we need to decide which product they are referring to, because at this level we can't tag the category. Category is something which is on the uh, EPC level.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there we need to make sure which they are referring to. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's why we can see the product has been linked to scenarios and item
Yeah.
definition. Yeah.
Hmm. And there is also conditions also. You can also create condition to bypass this. Let's say for phone, let's say there's a now the company is selling uh, second hand phones. Let's say this is the scenario. So in that case, you can also write a condition that don't run this particular logic for second hand case. So that is also second hand phones. So that is also possible, where we can write a conditional view even we have tagged this the same level of things. So those
Okay.
things we can also do.
Is the product has to go one step up because operation plan definition maybe it says like a scenario has product, item definition has a product. That's all right. Right now it says in a diagram.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
No, by looking at the diagram, it says organization or orchestration plan definition has a scenarios and it has the item definition. Then it says item definition has the product.
Yeah, it is saying condition. There's a condition
Okay.
to tag products. You can, I mean, here you will directly, here is the direct reference of the product, right? Here we can also write the conditions. Here we can also write the dependencies. Here we can also write the actions. Let me actually
Okay.
show you this, what I mean. Here you will see there is something called conditions.
Ah,
Okay, we can write conditions here. This we will discuss tomorrow, like what are the cases when we need to write those conditions, and from where we can create those conditions. Those conditions basically we can write for logics, like which product we want to apply this condition for. There the, let's say we have created this. Let me go back and show you this in scenarios. We have tagged this product. Okay, we
ah,
have tagged this product, but we don't want, and this item definitions is something which you use, I mean, for other cases also, right? This is one SIM order, and let's say there is a mobile order. Then you have created this item definition. So in item
okay.
definition level, we will not consider that we are having any product, because these are
Okay.
most of the cases common. But let's
Yeah.
say for one product we don't want document
Doc-
verification.
Got it. Yeah.
In that case, we can directly go to that condition and bypass that order also. Okay, wait,
Yes.
and
Yeah. This answered my question. So it's like on a product wise, we are defining the orchestration plan. I mean,
right,
orchestration item. Yeah. Yeah.
we can
So each
select this.
we have some process. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, and we can bypass this, and based on that we can say what is the attribute, and also whatever attribute that user given, right? Let's say
Okay.
we only want to perform this orchestration once
Mm.
user provided the mobile number in the attribute. Then
Yeah.
also we can define these things, right? Because it
Yeah.
is giving this, we can, based on that we can write null checks and all. So those
Yeah.
things we can perform.
Yeah, now it makes more sense because in entire for one company they will be having their own scenarios to handle the orchestration process. Then top of that, we are giving extra option to hide few steps based on the product.
Right, right. So just
Yeah,
refer this. This is very useful. Even when I was new in this, I refer this and it give me so. And you can also define this. You can demonstrate this to business users also. They can also understand. Okay, this is the backend because sometimes they we need to in client side we have someone who is taking care of technicalities. So
yeah,
there this will refer them also to understand what is going on behind the scene. So whenever you do a presentation, make sure you edit this slide also.
yeah,
And then you can define this also. I have taken from there itself those things. Okay. This you will say this is how the in product will look like, and those are the way where we are tracking this.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then let's connect tomorrow and we'll discuss about the further topics. Thanks.
Thank you.